Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday and we are doing a live, and I'm going to be doing some Easter eggs this morning. I actually have everything laid out here on my dining room table, and I'm going to kind of just do a live DIY with you guys. So I am going to tilt the camera down so that you guys can see what I'm doing, and that way I don't know how much I will be able to see of your comments, but I'm going to turn my phone on so that I can also maybe see comments through my phone. So give me just a quick second here. Oops. Let's see if I can pull it up on my phone. Welcome when you get here. We're going to do some Easter decoupage eggs. And let me move this forward just a little bit. How's everybody's Sunday? Hello and good morning. Actually, is it morning still? I don't know. I've lost track of time. These past few days, I've seriously lost track of time. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. All right, I am keeping my phone right here. Hopefully I can see you guys' comments on my phone because I have my camera up here so you guys can see me. Hello, everybody. All right, so we're gonna be doing some decoupage Easter eggs today. And I picked up these Easter eggs from Walmart. It's a 12 pack for $1.98. I love using these ones. They're really lightweight plastic eggs. They're already white, so they make for like a perfect canvas to start. Dyeing or whatever. The eggs actually come with the little dies here, but we're not going to use the dies. We're going to be painting the eggs and doing like a decoupage. Not sure how many we'll get to today, but I'm going to kind of just do as many as I can. And we'll kind of go from there. So, as far as other supplies goes, I have so much stuff right here that I'm not going to go over everything. You will need some Mod Podge. These are just the small little containers of Mod Podge that you can get from, or Mod Podge. I always call it Mod Podge. I don't know why. But they're the little containers that you can get from the Dollar Tree. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, it's raining here in upstate New York too. It's rainy and cool here. A couple of days ago, it was so warm that I actually sat outside in the sun. But yeah, not today. So yeah, you're gonna need some of the Mod Podge, and I'm using a few different color acrylic paints. These are just the folk art acrylic paints that you can get from Walmart. I have a couple different colors here. And then I also have a small little Waverly chalk paint, and I have some sponges. These are just the dollar store sponges. I actually made a little like a decoupage sponge, and I made it out of one of these sponges. Basically, all I did was I took one of these little sponges and I pulled the bottom off like this, and then I just cut out a little circular piece and hot glued it to the end. And so I made one of these little, it's almost like, I don't know, it's almost like a stenciling sponge if you don't have a stenciling sponge, but I didn't have anything, so I figured I would just make one. And then I have a lot of other like scrap paper and scrap fabric that I'm going to be using to decorate my Easter eggs. So I have some of these napkins. I've got those. Those are super pretty. Here's another package of napkins that I have. And literally I just went through all of my stockpile craft stuff and just picked out the colors of items that I wanted to use. And I have a lot of Dollar Tree stuff. I have these little banners. I think these came from Dollar Tree either last year or the year before. They're just like a little paper banner that you can string together. I'm going to probably use a couple of those. I have some little green doilies. I think these little green doilies came from the Target dollar spot. So I grabbed those as well. I also have some scrapbook paper, just some scrap pieces of scrapbook paper that I'm going to use. And I also have some stickers literally I just went through and grabbed like anything that I kind of liked color wise. I have some extra fabric that I had used for making Minnie Mouse ears last year when Alyssa and I went to Disney. We made Mickey ears. So I'm going to use some of the fabric that I used from that. Also, I have a few of the little fabric squares that are the Waverly fabric squares from Walmart. And then just lots of little scrap pieces. You can really use anything. You can be super creative with these. I have some I wasn't going to go through my whole list of stuff here, but I've got some ribbon, and I have some of the little dollar store pearls here. So I am going to just kind of go, make this as I go along here. All right, so first of all, what I want to do first is I want to paint a couple of my eggs. The ones that I'm going to paint first, I'm not going to paint all of them because some of them I'm going to wrap with the fabric, like do a decoupage fabric on them. But the ones that are not going to be completely covered, I'm going to paint. So I basically just took a couple little toothpicks. And these eggs that you can get from Walmart, they have a little hole kind of pre-drilled into the bottom. So you can just stick actually this one, I'm lying. That one doesn't. Some of them have them. Yeah, see this one has a little hole kind of already pre-done in there. So you can stick your toothpick right in that little hole and kind of use it to have a holder for painting your eggs. So I am going to just take, let's see, what color do I want? The first one I'm going to do is, I'm going to do a decoupage with one of these flowers on here. I really like the lavender and the pink colors. Hi guys, sorry if I'm not getting to your comments. It's hard for me to see comments on my screen here. I do have my phone here. Hello everybody who is joining. We are live right now. It is Sunday morning here in upstate New York. And I will try to keep checking comments as we go along here. But anyhow, okay, so we're going to do a couple different color paints. I'm actually just going to put a few different ones right on my paper plate here. This color that I'm using is the 438 Ballet Pink. I've got that one. I also have the 633 Baby Pink. I have a lot of pink colors left over from one of the DIYs that I did for Valentine's Day. So I'm just reusing a lot of stuff I have. This is 632 Rose Pink. Right there. Let's see. I don't think I'll do the linen. I do want to use this one. This is the Dove Gray. I have not opened this one yet, so I need to open this one. Let's see if I can get this one open. I tried to pre-open most everything that I had, so I didn't have to do this on camera, but I forgot to open this one. So yeah, this one is just a Dove Gray, which I thought would be a pretty color to do an egg. And it kind of goes with some of the other colors and the fabrics that I have here. So let's put some of that right there. All right, let's paint up some of these eggs. And I'm just going to do a quick coat. This paint dries pretty quickly, so that's why I'm doing the painted ones first so that I can kind of let them dry. All right, so let's do the gray. And I like using the little sponge brushes. They're super easy to use. So yeah, just doing a light color of the gray on the eggs. Hello everyone, welcome if you're just tuning in. This is the first live that I've done a DIY in a long time. How is everybody doing kind of socially distancing themselves at home? I know for us, it hasn't been bad, honestly. I mean, we've been able to get outside and go for hikes and stuff a little bit, but I mean, the people who live in the city, I really feel bad for the people who are in the city because it's kind of hard to get out and do anything if you're kind of in a confined space. All right, so I'm just doing a quick little coat of paint. That's that Dove Gray color, and I'm just gonna set it on an upside down egg carton just to let it dry. And you know what I didn't grab? I didn't grab water. Let me go grab some water because I need some water to clean my brushes. I'll be right back. All right. Hi. I got the eggs from Walmart. This is the pack. This is what they are. They're only $1.98 for a pack of 12 eggs. I love these ones. You can use any egg. You could actually use real eggs if you wanted to. I'm using these because they obviously will last year after year, and they're like a hollow plastic material, and it's like a matte finish. So they're really nice and easy to dye or paint. So for $1.98, I mean, I think that's a pretty good price for these ones. So, and they come from Walmart. Okay, so we got a gray one. Let me just clean off my sponge here, and we're gonna do a pink. I think I'll probably do maybe a half a dozen painted, and then I'll do the rest like fabric decoupage. So I haven't done these in a while. I actually made some decoupage Easter eggs a few years ago, and I did like an Easter egg tree in my dining room, which is kind of what I was thinking about doing this time, because I haven't really done any decorating in my dining room this year yet, which I want to. Even though we're gonna just probably be home and not doing anything, I at least want to decorate for us. All right, so let's take some of this pink. We'll do pink egg. Hello and welcome. Yeah, we're just making some eggs here this morning. It's rainy. I thought today would be a really good day for a DIY live with you guys. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and it's just like, I just don't have the time. Well, actually now I do. I feel like now I have the time to do things. We've been, Sean and I have been actually doing a project. We've been rearranging our storage room, like where I store all of my DIY and craft supplies down in my basement. We've been rearranging everything, and Sean built these really nice shelves in our garage so we can store all of my like Christmas decorating stuff in the garage, which is really nice. So that way it's all together, and then it frees up some of my space down in my storage room downstairs for like regular crafting supplies. I have so much crafting supplies. I probably have too much crafting supplies. All right, there's a pink one. Let that one dry for a minute. All right, I should have grabbed more paper towels too. You know what, I'm gonna go grab more paper towels. What have you guys been doing? What have you guys been doing while you're all, at home? While everybody's at home, are you guys doing projects? I wanna know what everybody's up to. What kind of projects are you guys doing? I know we've been doing a lot of organizing projects. Like cleaning things that we've been wanting to do for a long time, and then we just never get to it. I will do a video to show you guys what my storage room looks like. Clean out my brush again, or my sponge again, because that pink was going to be hard to come out of the sponge in just the water alone. So I wanted to wash it out in the sink. All right, let's see. Let's do another one here. Let's do a lighter pink color. Yeah, this is just kind of the tedious stuff. This is the stuff that you don't normally see on my regular videos that are edited, but since we're live, we can chat a little bit. You've been doing some cross stitching, I'm thinking. I've been doing some quilting, making Easter stuff. That's awesome. That's awesome, Hildy. Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to exercise a lot more too. I started running again, which this is like Last year I was doing really good with like my exercising and running, and I lost a lot of weight. And then winter came, and I feel like winter in the Northeast, everybody hibernates. So I kind of got out of my running over the winter. So I actually did start running again, which I'm like, that's one of the things that I've been really wanting to do. So I have been running and working out almost every day since we've been quarantined in our house. Well, not really. We're not quarantined, but we're trying to stay away from people. Um, but yeah, other than that, I mean, just doing a lot of like cleaning and crafting and doing things with my family and that kind of thing. So here is another egg. Like this gray one right here is almost already dry. Let me just turn it a little bit. This paint dries really quickly. Set that there. Find another egg that's got one of the little holes in the bottom. Oops. Been making face masks. Yeah, you know what? I actually was gonna do that as well. I have quite a bit of like extra fabric that I've been meaning to do that also, to get out my sewing machine. Did you say, yes, this is just the acrylic folk art. It's the folk art paint from Walmart, the stuff that you can get. It's like 99 cents for the bottle. I just grabbed a few of the colors like that I wanted to use. And we're just painting some of the eggs to start. I'm not going to do all of them. I'm just going to do the ones that I want like a base undercoat, a specific color. Because some of them I'm going to do like a fabric decoupage. And then some of them I'm going to do like a little like scenery, like a floral scenery or something like that on. Like I said, I've made these before. It's been a couple years since I've done them. I actually did an Easter egg, like Easter egg branches in a vase on my dining room table. This was probably 5 years ago, when we lived at our old house, and I made Easter eggs. I did decoupage Easter eggs then. And so I figured I'd do them again. It's been a while. And I've had these eggs, so I wanted to do something with them. Okay, so I painted 4 eggs. We'll just do the 4 eggs for now. Who's got husbands that are hating all the You know what? My husband is not hating it because he is OCD with cleaning. He's like 10 times as bad as I am. Like I'm not like a clean freak or anything. Like I do like things nice looking, but Sean is the clean person in our house, and he's driving me nuts because he's got so many projects and we're organizing everything, and like he's going through and organizing and cleaning and getting rid of everything, and sometimes he goes a little overboard. But that's just him. That's him. I'm used to it. So he's loving this time. Some decoupage. Oh, that's nice, Karen. Awesome. How'd they turn out? And Cheryl organized her craft supplies. Oh, that's cool. You used vintage picnic baskets. That's a great idea. And that's actually what I'm going to be doing downstairs in my storage / craft room down in my basement. I don't think I've ever showed that room down there. We have like a spare room in our basement. It's not finished, but it's insulated and warm and heat and electricity and everything down there. But I have all of my storage shelves for all of my crafting supplies down there. And so we actually took all of the Christmas supplies that were down there and brought them upstairs into our garage, because Sean made these 3 beautiful shelves that will hold the big storage totes. And so we put all of the Christmas stuff up in the garage, and then downstairs is just going to be like my everyday crafting stuff. So we're working on organizing that and getting everything into like bins, and like all my paints in one bin, all of my ribbon in one bin, paper, like organizing all of that. So yeah, Sean loves that kind of thing. He actually asked me before I came on live. He's like, "Are we gonna go and organize today?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we can do that later." But I wanted to do a live with you guys first here. So okay, so while those are drying, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do some decoupaging on the eggs itself. So one thing that I did first, one of the eggs that I did first was so napkins are really great to use for decoupaging. This napkin that I'm using is actually a 3-ply napkin. There's 3 different pieces to it, if you can see. Some of them are 2-ply, but this one happens to be 3-ply, so you can pull off all 3 pieces of the ply, and you'll just have like a thin layer on the top, which has the print on it, which, there you go, you can see. And it's almost like tissue paper thin. Tissue paper would work good too. You could definitely do tissue paper. So what I did was I took one of these napkins and I pulled the plies all apart, and I ripped the pieces. I ripped them into just small little pieces like this, just so that I have smaller little pieces to work with. And so I'm going to do one decoupage egg kind of just with these small little pieces. So I'm going to use my Mod Podge, and this is just the little small containers that you can get from the Dollar Tree. And I'll put some on my paint dish here. And then we're going to take one of our eggs, and then all we're going to do is I'm going to dip my sponge into the Mod Podge first, and I'm just going to put a little coat of Mod Podge on my egg wherever I'm going to put my small piece of napkin. Now you want the pieces pretty small. If they're not small enough, just rip them apart even smaller. And you can just stick the piece of napkin on there, and then you're just going to brush the Mod Podge again right over the napkin, just like that. So it kind of like folds, the napkin kind of like folds onto the egg and takes the shape of the egg like that. All right. And then we're just going to continue to kind of overlay the napkin pieces until the entire egg is covered. So again, I just put a little coat on the bottom just for the napkin to stick to start. And then I'll just stick that on there, and then I'll take more of my Mod Podge and just go over that napkin. Just like that. You can see how it's just sticking to the egg. This is really easy to do. It looks great once it's done too. And it's like you have this like really kind of professional looking, you know, it looks really expensive when really it's only just napkins. So, and the smaller the pieces, the easier it is to work with. And usually Mod Podge dries pretty quickly too. Sometimes the thicker materials are a little bit harder to work with. Like if you have a thicker paper, sometimes you might want to wet the paper before you, especially if it's like a cardstock or something like that, wet the paper before you apply it, because that will make it a little bit more pliable and easy to bend. Jameson, if you hear music in the background, it's Jameson is, I think Sean and Jameson are watching a Disney movie upstairs. I don't know what they're watching. We watched Frozen 2 the other day. Have you guys seen Frozen 2? Cheryl says, I have no storage, so the baskets are part of, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, we watched Frozen 2 the other day. And we've been like watching different movies like every single night. But I thought Frozen 2 was cute. I definitely didn't like it as much as I liked the first one. I feel like that's how it is. I feel like I usually like the first videos or the first movies the best. There are very few movies that have sequels that I like better than the original. But yeah, I hear the music of something that they're watching up there. I'm not sure what they're listening to, but I hear it. Right, so almost, I've got this one almost covered. And then once it's covered, I'll just kind of sit this and let this dry, and we'll work on another one. I'm going to try to do a fabric one for you guys, so you can see the difference between a fabric and a paper. Oops. You saw it with your granddaughter on her birthday. Well, that's a good birthday present. My kids always like to do movies. Well, not necessarily Jameson, but Alyssa used to love going to the movies on her birthday when she was little. All right. I'm really like having Disney withdrawals because we're actually supposed to be in Florida right now. We're supposed to be down in Florida, but obviously we did not go because of the whole crisis that's going on here. But yeah, I'm having major Disney withdrawals. Alyssa and I have been making Disney recipes that we did two so far. So we did Tonga toast and we did rice from Mexico. And all right, so there is one of the little eggs, if you can see it. I'm just gonna set this one aside and let that one dry. Let me see. I don't want to put it right in the egg holder because I don't want the sides to stick. But I'm just kind of setting it on the top there. All right, so while that one is drying, just take that one out. Let's do a fabric one so you can see the difference between the fabric and the paper towel or the napkin. All right, so I cut some little fabric squares. And so I cut them really small, little pieces of scrap fabric like that, really, really small. I'll probably need more. But yeah, I'm just using this little scrap fabric that I got from, I think this came from Joann Fabric when we did our Mickey ears last year. But I'm just cutting small little squares. The smaller, the easier to work with fabric, especially if you're using a smaller egg. These are just like regular size eggs. You can sometimes find the plastic eggs that are a little bit bigger. They're like 15 centimeters or something like that, which I didn't really want to do the bigger ones. I wanted to do the smaller ones. So yeah, I'm just cutting little squares. And you could actually mix fabrics too. If you wanted kind of a quilted look, you could definitely mix the fabrics. I really like these colors in this one. Okay, so just like I did with the paper one, I'm gonna put the Mod Podge on first, just to give the fabric something to stick to. And I need some more here. I go through so many containers of Mod Podge. I actually bought a large container of it, but every time I'm at the Dollar Tree, I usually pick up one or two of these little smaller containers because I go through so much. All right, so there's some Mod Podge. Again, we're just gonna take our little fabric pieces, and just like we did with the paper, we're gonna just take our Mod Podge and kind of saturate that fabric with the Mod Podge and kind of push it down until it sticks onto the egg. Just like that. Now again, fabric is a little bit thicker, so you got to use a little bit more of the Mod Podge to make it stick good. But that's why it helps to use the smaller pieces. And you can just overlap. Oops. You drive school bus with special needs kids. 2 girls on the bus were talking about it, and wow, they paid attention to every teacher. Love listening to them. Oh, that's awesome, Cheryl. Yeah, that's so cool. Do I like the matte or the gloss mod? Okay, so the Dollar Tree only has the matte. I've used both actually. The gloss would be nice with this project. Actually, if you use the matte to do like the base of the project and then you went over it one time with the gloss on the Easter eggs, that would actually look really nice. It would give your Easter eggs that nice kind of like glossy finish. But yeah, I'm using the matte right now because it's what the Dollar Tree sells and it's what I have here right now. But the gloss would definitely be nice. Oops. So yeah, you're gonna get your hands a little bit Mod Podgy doing this, especially with the smaller eggs, but that's okay. It washes off your fingers easy. Oops. So as you can see, this is the fabric going on the egg. The fabric is nice too because it gives it a nice little texture. Something a little bit different. And again, you could wet the fabric ahead of time if you wanted to. The only thing with having the fabric wet is I feel like you might end up using a little bit more glue. I don't know. Your Dollar Tree sells. Oh, they do. That's awesome. You know what? I have only seen I really only go to about 2 Dollar Trees in my area. And both of them only have the matte. But I'll have to check out another Dollar Tree at some point whenever we can, you know, move around a little bit more than we're doing now. One thing I have noticed is that my Dollar Tree with this whole coronavirus thing, I love it because normally the Dollar Tree is packed, but for some reason the Dollar Tree is like, every time I go lately, there's like nobody there. So I don't know, I think maybe a lot of people who go out go to the grocery store over the Dollar Tree. So I don't know. I tend to go to the Dollar Tree, even to get like little necessity stuff. Like they have this juice right now that I saw that Jameson actually really likes. It's I forget the brand, but they just started carrying it at the Dollar Tree and Jameson loves it. So I've been going there to like stock up on like juice and like chips and snacks and stuff like that for the kids. So, but yeah, my Dollar Tree's been like surprisingly quiet. The main one that I go to. There's 2 of them local to me, and one of them is always busy because it's closer to like downtown, but the other one is kind of more off on a beaten path, and it's super quiet there. Oops. You're in Houston. Could do a coat of the Elmer's glue after. Yeah, I don't see why you couldn't. As long as the Elmer's glue, that you have the glue that dries clear, I would say go for it. Try it out. I don't see why you couldn't. So yeah, this is just kind of like a nice little project to do. I mean, you could do this with kids too. Like I could do this with, I don't know if Jameson could quite do this, but you know, if you have kids that are, you know, home from school right now and you're looking for something fun to do with them, that, you know, this is easy. This isn't hard to do. They could definitely do this. And they could actually do it with their fingers too. You can kind of glue this down with your fingers like that. If you get some of the Mod Podge on your fingers, you could definitely, kids could do this. So this would be a fun little project to do with everybody. I actually asked Alyssa if she wanted to do this with me today, but she has paper due, so she's actually working on that. She's doing school from home online, which is really nice that they can do that at her school. So that's what I don't think she's, well, yeah, she's working on her paper today, but so yeah, she actually really likes it. She's used to it though, because she's been homeschooled. Alyssa was homeschooled for so long that this is kind of normal to her. But Jameson misses preschool. He definitely misses preschool. So yeah, I'm just using my fingers to kind of push down any of the little pieces of fabric that are popping up. So yeah, kids could definitely do this with their fingers. All right, so I almost have this one all down in place. You can see there's the fabric one. I'm gonna set this one aside and let this one dry. And then we will let's work on one of the painted eggs next. Okay. All right, give me a quick second. I'm gonna go get some more. I'm gonna clean out my water and I'm gonna clean out my sponge again and get some fresh water, and I will be right back and we'll start one of the painted eggs. All right, clean water, paper towels, clean sponge. All right, let's put these aside here. Hello, Julia. Hello, everybody hopping on. Sponge, also the DIY playlist from Walmart, I believe. Nice. Sorry, Julia, I have to clean my supplies and we're live, so gotta do what I gotta do. I don't want to have dirty sponges to work with here. That's the difference with live, is you're getting real life. When you watch the videos, you're getting edited. Okay. So let's do one of these little painted eggs. This one is dry, and let's do a decoupage on this with one of these flowers. So I'm gonna pick the flower that I want to use, and I'm gonna grab my scissors wherever those went off to. And let's see, I kind of like this grouping right here, I think. So let's cut out whatever ones we want in this little grouping. I'm just going to do kind of like, this might be too much, but I just cut out a little grouping of flowers right here. So obviously you'll see that there's the 3 plies of the napkin. And so I just want that top ply right there. And I'm going to take my little sponge here and I'm going to just get some water on it And I'm gonna kind of go around the edge with my water, and that way I can kind of pull off some of the napkin and have kind of like a softer edge. Do you guys see how I did that? I just went around the edges. All I'm doing is I'm making the edges a little bit softer and easier to work with. So I'm just wetting them and then just pulling them off. So it just gives like a little soft edge. So that's what I'm doing here first. All right, so now I have just a little piece of paper here that's got like soft edges on it. I don't want anything too big because I don't want it to cover like the whole egg. I just want a little bit of the egg covered. Actually, I think this might even be too much. I think I'm gonna go in and make it a little bit smaller. I really just wanna have like a little floral in the front. All right, so there's just one of the flowers. Now you could use stickers too, which I do have stickers, so I might do a sticker with another one. But okay, so here's my egg that we already painted, and it's all dry. And we're gonna take our Mod Podge, and we're gonna take our little piece of napkin, and I'm just gonna lay it on the front of our egg. I didn't put any Mod Podge down yet because you really don't need it because this is super thin. And then I'm just gonna take my Mod Podge and Mod Podge that little piece of napkin right to my egg. Just like that. And that's what the little soft edges kind of make it easier to blend in with the egg itself. All right. Super pretty, right? Really, really easy and so pretty. Okay, so I mean, I could do one on the other side if I wanted to. I'm actually just gonna do one on this one because I think that looks really pretty just as it is. So I'll let that one dry for just a second, and then I will grab, let's see, let's do the gray one. Let's do this gray. Let's see what we have for the gray. Now I don't know how this, I was gonna use these stickers here, but these might even be a little too, because these are like a plastic sticker. Yeah, I don't think those ones are gonna work great. Let's try a doily. Let's do a little doily and see how the doily works. I don't know if I want to do the doily on the gray though. Let's see, maybe the doily on the pink. Yeah, let's try a doily on the pink. This might be pretty. Okay, so what I did was I took one of these little round doilies that I have here. They're kind of like a mint green color, and I just cut slits all around the outer edge here just to create like this little separation that will be easier to fold down around the egg. So we're gonna again take our Mod Podge, and I'm gonna just put some more Mod Podge on here, and I'm gonna put some Mod Podge on my egg first, on the top especially. Whoops. And then we're gonna take our little doily that we cut, and right in the top center, I'm gonna stick that right on the top. All right, and that's gonna be where we're gonna start our Mod Podging or our decoupaging. And we're gonna pull each little flap down. I don't know if you guys can see this. I hope you can. I'm going to pull this little flap down and just Mod Podge it down. And we're just going to continue to do this and like work in layers with this doily. Again, just working in layers as we kind of go down and around our egg. That's why I cut those little slits, so that way it would be easy to Mod Podge this right down. Yes, yep. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do something very similar to that once this dries. And I'm going to show you the same technique on the one that I just did right here. It's kind of like a distressing or a shadowing effect. And that's why I made this little kind of like decoupage sponge. So I'll show you that once these kind of dry enough. I'm just going to work my way around. And I'm working kind of like in a pinwheel so that one overlaps the next so that it, you don't have any spots missing the paper. And this just gives it like a little lacy effect. And this one actually would be really cute with that technique of kind of distressing around the edges of that doily, that little paper doily. All right. All right, so once we have that, I hope you guys can see that okay. Once we have that kind of all glued down, I'll let that one dry for a few minutes here. And let's see, what do you guys want to do? I could do one, all right, let's do one with one of these little cutouts here. Let's do one with this. This is one of those little cutouts, banners. I think this came from the Dollar Tree. I'm actually going to cut out like the little butterfly from this because I think the butterfly is really cute. So I'm going to cut the butterfly out on this one. And this is just a paper. It's a little bit thicker of a paper, so I might want to wet this one. But I've actually used these little cutout banners for stenciling as well. I did like a little stenciling project with them and it turned out really cute. So yeah, these are, if you see these at your dollar store, grab them. I don't know if they have them this year or not. I think I got these last year. Pretty sure I got them last year. All right, so there is my little paper cutout, and I am gonna wet this one because it is a little bit hard. So I'm just gonna stick it in my water for just a second and let that soak up the water just so that it bends easier. Okay, let's do that one on this darker pink, I think. I don't know if I want to do that on the gray. It would be pretty on the gray. But yeah, I think I'm going to do this one on the darker pink one. All right, more Mod Podge. All right, yeah, this is definitely more flexible now. So I pulled it out of the water. We're going to take and we're going to put our Mod Podge on our egg. Just a little bit to start, and then I'm going to lay that butterfly right on our Mod Podge. Now that butterfly is really flexible now because it got wet. Oop, just be careful. If it is wet, you got to be a little bit careful with it because it can rip. You might want to use your fingers on this one because I did rip a little bit of the top piece here. So yeah, using your fingers might be a little bit more gentle if your paper's wet. Like put it on with a sponge and then like use your fingers to kind of like push the paper down. Maybe just giving a little spray would work before. Yeah, I mean, you could do that too. This is actually pretty thick. Like it's thicker than a normal, it's thicker than like, what am I called? Scrapbook paper. It's a little bit thicker than that. That's why it needed to be wet to be more flexible. But I think it's gonna work. It's just you gotta be careful with it if it gets too wet. Have you ever tried singing over that from pattern, looking like using a stencil? Yeah, I think I was just saying that one. I've used this as a stencil before. I actually used it as a stencil on some glass that I bought. And I wanted to see how it looked, and it actually turned out really good. Alright, so I don't know if you guys can see that. That's coming out really pretty. But yeah, your fingers actually help. If you use your fingers to glue this one down, your fingers actually help. There's that piece again. There we go. Because you can push out any of the little air bubbles underneath the paper with your fingers. All right, so I'm gonna let that one sit aside for just a minute until that one dries. Let's see if this one's dry enough yet. I think that one probably is. You can use lace, you could use, you know, lots of different things for doing these. Okay, let's do a little technique with this one right here, just to soften the edges on it. I'm actually gonna pull this out because I don't need that right now. All right, so there's that one right there. What do I use? I actually have, so I have a Google Pixel, which I think the Google Pixel is amazing. It's the new Google Pixel, and I've been using that for filming my videos, that's actually what we're on right here. But I also have an iPhone. I have a DSLR camera as well, but we don't use that one as often. I mostly use my Google Pixel. Okay, let's take a little bit of, I have a black chalk paint. I have a black chalk paint. I'm gonna just use a little teeny tiny bit of the black chalk paint. And I'm gonna mix it with that gray color that I used on this egg right here, I think. So just a tiny little bit of black. I also have some white chalk paint as well. I don't know if I'm gonna need the white. I don't think I'm gonna, you know what, I'm just gonna use the gray. There's a little bit of the gray. I also have this linen color, which the linen color would be nice too. Let me put a little bit of the linen on here. And this is just gonna kind of get a little distressed effect on the outside edge of our little flower that we did here. And let's see, let's mix a little bit of a tiny bit of the black in with the linen color. Can you guys see this? So I'm just taking my that little linen, and I'm mixing it with a tiny bit of the black, just to make kind of like a taupey color. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of go around the outer edge with my little, you guys see that? I'm just going to kind of do a dark kind of shadow effect around the outer edge of my decoupaged flower. And I'm just kind of basically pulling in an outward direction. You could add a little bit of water to it also, because the water will soften it up a little bit. So it's just kind of giving it like this soft kind of antique look. And I'm going to mix a little bit of the lighter pink to it as well on the very edge. Hope you guys can see this okay. Yeah, I added just a little bit of that light pink color to it as well. And this is going to almost give it like a three-dimensional look just around the outside edge. Like that. Now you could also take a paintbrush. You could use a sponge too. You could take a paintbrush and you could dip it in your black paint. Do I have a paintbrush close by here? I don't think I do. But if you had a paintbrush, you could dip it in your black paint, like make a watery down black paint. And you could spray some of that black paint to make like black speckles on the egg as well. And that would be really pretty. Which I probably could do that with my sponge. Let me do, I'm going to do that with my sponge. I'll try it with my sponge. I don't think I've done it with a sponge before, but let me go wash this sponge out and we'll try we'll see if we can sprinkle it a little bit with the black. So I actually found a little paintbrush in my top drawer here. I'm going to actually try doing it with a paintbrush and see how the paintbrush will work. Because I think the little black speckles would be really pretty. So I'm just taking some water and that black paint, I want it really watery. Let's see here. Yeah. Can you guys see that? How it's creating like the little black speckles? That actually worked out really well on that one. I might do all of them with the little black speckles because I think that's a really pretty. All right. Let's do, what do we want to do here? Let's do some of these pearls. Actually, you know what? Is this one dry enough? This one might be dry enough. No, that one's still pretty tacky. A lot of these are still pretty wet to do anything else with them at the moment. I don't want to touch them and let them, I want to kind of leave them. Let's do something on this gray egg. I want to do something on this gray one. Let's do one of these flowers. Let's do one of those flowers right there on the gray egg, because that is really pretty. It's got like grays in the background. So I'm just going to cut one of these out. This is actually just scrapbook paper. So I'm just going to cut this out. And I am going to wet this one also because this is thicker. And I think it needs to be wet, a little bit wet. Yeah, I'm just going to let it soak in there for just a second because it is thicker. All right, so we've got our Mod Podge. How's this one doing? Actually, I think this paper was thicker than the banner paper that we just used. I'm going to pull some of the edges on this one to soften it up also. So I'm just going around the edge of that paper and I'm just pulling it. Oops, that one ripped a little bit, but that's okay. I just want to soften up those edges. And this is definitely easier to do when the paper is wet. It's going to give it kind of like that Victorian look too. So yeah, I'm just ripping the edges to soften the edges. There we go. All right, let's take our Mod Podge and do some Mod Podge on this gray egg. I actually need more Mod Podge. See how much Mod Podge I go through? I go through so much. Okay. And then we'll take our little wet piece of fabric here. Sorry, not fabric, paper. I'm using my fingers at the moment to see if I can kind of lay this out. Because the paper is definitely thicker on this one. It does help that it's wet, but using your fingers definitely helps. So this would be a good little project for kids. It's still not sticking as well as I wanted it to. It's starting to. I'm gonna do a really nice soft gray border on this one too. Kind of like we did with the other one. I'll use more of the black and the gray color, so it would just be slightly darker than the color of the egg. So yeah, my tip to you guys would be try to use a thinner paper. You can use a thicker paper, but it's going to be a little bit more time consuming and harder to work with. And definitely get it really wet because if you're using a thicker paper, the thinner paper is much easier to work with. So like the napkins are great because the flour on that napkin worked really well. So, I mean, this is working. It's just, it's taking a lot of time to get it to lay down flat on that egg. But you can see, there it is right there. All right, so I'm gonna let that dry for just a second. Let's see how some of the other ones are doing. We could do another fabric egg. How's the fabric one doing? So there's one of the fabric ones right there. It's still slightly tacky, but definitely let them dry as long as possible. All right, let's see. Let's do another napkin. I have these napkins right here, and they have some cute little prints on them. So let's open up those napkins and do one of those. How are we doing for time here? I don't want to go too long with it. I might end up doing a part 2 of this video where we actually decorate the eggs a little bit more. Because I do want to decorate them once they dry. But let's do one more with this napkin, and then we'll hop off and we'll do a part 2 of this when I go back in and decorate. Okay, so this one has these cute little, look at the cute little chickadees on there, or little chicks, not chickadees, but little chicks, and they also have really cute little Easter eggs. How many plies is this? I'm just going to cut a piece out here. My napkin. And I'm going to just do this little chick. I think this little chick is cute. Alright, so I cut the little chick out. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did. I'm going to go around the edges with a little bit of water. Where's that brush? I'm actually going to use that little paintbrush that I used. And I'm just going to go around the edges with that and then just pull off the edges. Well, you know what? I don't know how this is going to turn out now that I'm looking at it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that chick. I got it wet and I don't know if you're even going to be able to see it. Let's try this. Let's try something else. I haven't ever used this before, so I don't know how this is going to turn out. I'm using, because it's white, because it's such a light color, I don't know how you're going to see it on the egg once we get it on. So I'm actually just going to try it and see. Because I got him wet. See how I got him wet and he like disappears? So I'm kind of hoping that that's not what happens. So I'm just going to see how this turns out. This is a trial run on this one. My phone's buzzing here. All right, let's just see how this turns out on here and see if it disappears or if you can see it. Well, you can see that one. You can see the Easter egg on that. It's very light, but you can see it. Let's just put him down right on top of that egg, or next to that egg, and see. Oh yeah, you can see him. You guys see? It's very light, you can see it. I actually like that. I like this kind of like patched together look with this napkin. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go all the way around the entire egg. I'm just gonna get a couple more. I'm just gonna rip these. There's another one. So I'm just applying that napkin that I ripped out onto, I am putting Mod Podge down first. And then I'm just spreading that napkin down on top. With that pink napkin. There we go. So you can kind of see, there's the egg, there's the little chickadee, or chick. So yeah, I'm just going to continue working around with this paper here until we get this one covered. But I think I'm going to stop the video, or I'm going to stop the live right now. I'm going to finish this one up. I'm going to let the rest of these dry. And then I probably will do another live with finishing these and decorating them, because I definitely want to decorate them. I have lots of decorating supplies to decorate with. I have beads. I have glitter glue. I showed these earlier. I have these little pearl stickers. I have some of this like Dollar Tree. This is the silver pearl wrap right there. I have pom-poms. I have a bunch of beads and stuff in here. So I do want to go ahead after, once everything is dried, and decorate. So like I said, I'm going to stop this now, and then stick around. I'll see if I can do this tomorrow. Maybe we'll come back on tomorrow and finish these up. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. If you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and subscribe, and turn on the little notifications bell so you're notified whenever my lives post, or whenever I post a new video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you have a great rest of your day, and we will see you very soon. Take care.